So, hello everyone. So, for today, we're going to discuss to you the two properties of liquids, which are the definite volume and the surface tension. So, to start with,
Definite volume. According to the kinetic theory, motion of liquid particles can be described as a form of matter that has a definite volume and take the shape of its container. It does not vary and they cannot expand to fill a container. Liquids occupy definite volume but have no definite shape. It takes the shape of the container.
Definite volume. This is the intermolecular forces of attraction between the molecule in a liquid is less when compared to solid, and the liquid molecule are loosely packed in a liquid. The particles are in close contact, and so they have a definite volume, and particles can slide across each other.
so ayon, like what was stated a while ago, liquids occupy definite volume but have no definite shape. And one reason for this is because the liquid particles are arranged disorderly and they are less closely packed together. Liquid particles are not so tightly bound, have spaces in between them, and are free to move compared to solid. Another thing is with the intermolecular forces of attraction between the liquid particles and the intermolecular forces of attraction between the water molecules or the particles itself that make up a liquid are less strong compared to solids. That is why liquids does not have a fixed shape and rather sinusunod niya yung shape ng isang container. So that explain why one of the properties of a liquid is its definite volume. So for the next is the surface tension.
Surface tension. The energy required to increase the surface area of a liquid due to intermolecular forces results from attractive forces between a particle on a liquid surface. A force that pulls adjacent parts of the liquid surface together, thereby decreasing surface area. The stronger the intermolecular forces, the greater the surface tension.
Due to kinetic energy, the particles or molecules that make up a liquid are in constant random motion, so they will have random arrangement.
So as you can see here at the left side, the picture. So yung picture. So imagine now we are looking at a container filled with water and we're looking at it at nano level. So each blue circle represents one water molecule. And we all know that sa liquid, mayroong presence na kinetic energy doon. So sabi dito, the molecules that make up a liquid are moving at a constant random motion, so they will have random arrangement. So kung makikita nyo ulit dun sa left side, dun sa ating picture, you can see na yung hindi or I mean random yung arrangement ng molecule. So yung iba magkadikit, yung iba medyo malayo sa isa't isa, yung iba naman nasa taas, and then yung iba medyo nasa baba. So that is the first part of explaining what surface tension is. So next.
Surface tension. Looking into under the surface, the intermolecular forces pull on each molecules in all directions.
So before we begin with this, before I explain this, so one thing that you should focus on is the surface molecule. So itong mga blue circle na to na nasa itaas, ayan yung mga surface molecule natin. Ito naman, yung mga molecules under the surface. So what was stated here is that kapag titingnan mo yung molecules under the surface, yung intermolecular forces pull nila sa isa't isa is in all direction. And this is because of the thing called cohesive forces. So we all know that intermolecular forces are the forces or bonding which help to achieve stability between molecules. Intermolecular forces, whether it is a dispersion or a dipole-dipole, that are occurring between molecules of a liquid are called cohesive forces. And these cohesive forces are felt by the molecules between one another that cause cohesion in a substance. So in a liquid, the cohesive forces are felt equally in all directions by most of the molecules, but not for molecules that are at the surface of the liquid. So since nga kung makikita nyo, itong one molecule na to, maraming nakasurround sa kanya ng another molecule. And this explains as to why yung intermolecular force pull nila sa isa't isa is in all directions.
At the surface, the pull on each molecule is lateral and downwards. There's negligible intermolecular attraction above the molecules, so the net force on surface molecules is downward.
So dito naman, kung makikita nyo, since nga nasa edge sila ng surface, or nasa pinaka-edge sila, hindi lahat nakakapag-access in all direction ng another molecule. That is why the pull or the intermolecular attraction pull na nangyayari between the surface molecules is lateral and downward. Sabi rin dito, there is a negligible intermolecular attraction above the molecule. So ito yung mga attraction na nangyayari between sa mga air na sa gases and such. So the net force of the surface molecule is
The result of these downward forces, force, is that surface particles are pulled down until counterbalanced by the compression resistance of the liquid. The surface molecules are compressed more tightly together at the surface, forming a sort of skin on the surface with less distance between them compared to the molecule below them.
So dito, kung makikita nyo, since nga the surface molecules, they only interact with half as many molecules as the others because they are the edge of the substance with no more molecules to one side. So this is the reason as to why the liquid particles, or particularly the surface molecules, tend to contract to form shape that minimize their surface area.
The net direction of the force on the surface molecule is towards the center. This explains as to why a free-falling drop of liquid takes to a spherical shape because the molecules are all being pulled towards the center.
So compared dun sa kanina na pinakita namin sa inyo, it is confined inside a container. So paano naman kapag hindi? So ito yung mga example na mga water droplets such. So di ba pag titignan niyo isang water droplet, the shape of it is parang circle na, almost circle. And that is because of the surface tension. Kasi yung net direction ng surface molecules natin is towards the center. And the reason for this because the sphere is the shape that minimizes the surface area. So a water droplet will adopt this shape to maximize the hydrogen bonding that is occurring in the droplet, allowing the system to sit at the lowest energy possible. So next is we have the intermolecular force. So it is what creates attraction between water molecule. There is a strong attraction between the oxygen and hydrogen to their opposite charges. So alam naman natin, a hydrogen is a partially positive charge and an oxygen is a partially negative charge. So this is the reason, since alam natin na opposite attracts, since there are two opposite charges, they have a strong attraction between each other. And itong strong attraction na tinatawag natin ito is called hydrogen bonding. Sabi rin dito, the stronger the intermolecular forces, the greater the surface tension. And one of the reasons as well as why water has a high surface tension is kasi meron siyang strong intermolecular. And then last, we have the hydrogen bonding. So for further information about our presentation. So water has an irregularly high surface tension because of the strong hydrogen bonding occurring. Water does not want to reduce the amount of hydrogen bonding occurring by increasing the surface area. This explains as to why a paper clip can float if they're on the surface but sink if they're placed below the surface. So if you're going to experiment or kung gagawin mo siya in real life, kapag naglagay ka ng paper clip sa isang container na puno ng tubig, yung paper clip doon is mag-float. And the reason behind that is the surface tension. Kasi one property of a surface tension nga is that properties or any material that is denser than water, it will float doon above sa ating surface. So that is it for our presentation. Thank you for listening. We are again good.